Oklahoma Sooners are one step closer to a berth in the college football playoff following a 17-6 home victory over the Missouri Tigers on Saturday in a game once again dominated by that Sooner defense, carrying yet another lackluster performance by John Mateer and the offense. Let's get into it. Good evening, and welcome back to Sooners Recap. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, along with my co-host, Kchris Griffin from the Horns Down podcast, and Mr. Mason, Chris Mason from Sooners 360. If you love college football, especially the Oklahoma Sooners, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button on all three channels, along with the like. And don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of the Sooners Recap show. What's up, gentlemen? 17-6 win for Oklahoma over the Missouri Tigers. Another dominant defensive performance. They seem to get better week after week as far as smothering out anything that you want to do offensively. What say you?
Chris Mason?
Well, I picked 17-10. I said it would be a pretty much that Missouri would they got more of a passing end than I thought they would. Obviously Prabula, they shot him up in the first half, so he could be a little bit mobile, and the shot wears off in the second half, and he's kind of a duck. He's kind of a target back there. Again, special teams, punting great, kicking great, block a field goal, almost blocked another field goal. Offense, defense, second half. Once Brent gets a read on you, he's nails. I mean, second game in a row, pretty much. The opponents.
How sick was that damn call where he calls timeout right as they're about to snap, makes them have to go to a field goal instead of going for it on fourth down there by the goal line. I thought that was great, and that was right before the block. So, I mean, you ended up not getting any points out of it from Mizzou right there. That was insane as far as the way that went. I mean, he knew that they were probably getting, like Teddy was talking about on the broadcast, is like, it's one of those deals where you know for sure they've got like a play for this situation for Oklahoma. They just showed you what it was. Now it's over. What an amazing play call and sequence right there, right?
Yeah, I think Brent's showing that second half adjustments are huge, and he's getting a read on what guys are doing. This is a little bit like in the Wayback Machine. This is a little bit like how Mike and Brent worked during that 2000 to 2003 run where our defense was just so awesome. It's like teams kind of got something in the first quarter, and then in the second half, they just got a read on what they were doing and just shut it the hell down from that perspective. So, I think defensively Missouri, they hit some pass plays, credit to them. They made some big catches, credit to them. But
not at any important times really after that first drive. They were.
Well, the totals obviously they got two meaningless drives in the fourth quarter that pad their totals a little bit, especially that last drive. I mean, it's like okay, yeah. We're in prevent, making them run clock, and they get 40 yards worth of offense before we pick them off, and that's the end of the game. So I mean, it's really, so OU barely didn't cover, keeping them under 300 yards, but really, I mean. Again, I'm kind of the yardage myth is what it is, right? If you did adjusted yards, I'm sure we would be under 300 for the game. Just basically, based
at some point, whenever you go 5 punts in a row, they're going to get something.
Obviously, we obviously went when we were up 17-6 into the fourth quarter. We got conservative. I mean, that's just what we did. I mean, that's a smart move. Don't give them.
You want to give up a touchdown there, yeah.
Don't want to give up a pick. You don't want to fumble a punt like FSU did last night, twice in 5 minutes. It's how you win football games. You're up 17-6. Your defense has a read on what they're doing. The offense just needs to not make mistakes, get some first downs if you can, and they did get a couple. They did take some crucial time off the clock in the fourth quarter. But yeah, I mean, when your D is on this level of a heater, just stay out of their way.
So I would say this right here. I'll start off by saying this: we lose that game last year.
Oh yeah, Jackson Arnold loses that game completely.
No. Screw Jackson. Screw all of that. We just lose that game. Okay, game management has been terrible the past 2 years. I mean, if we're being real, we talked about it, all three of us.
We have. There've been times when it's been bad.
But this season here, whatnot, it's gotten better. I think that you have improved on that. I know 2022. I mean, not 2022, but 23. That was a better year, but it looked like we regressed in that element of the game last year. But this year right here, this is a game where you can go out there and you can be comfortable and you can win. Defensively, was really pleased after that first drive of what I saw from the defense, just being disciplined, being gap sound, and taking away their run game. They made Roberts and Hardy work for everything. What windows they thought were there, they closed quickly. So, again, just defense, you got to take your hats off to them. I thought, guys, you got penetration, and then on the back end, they weren't able to bounce out like they thought they would have. They didn't have those lanes. Probilla, hey, look, that was a very gutsy game for him. Give him that. But again, I think after OU scored and they went up, I don't. It's 14-3. I don't think that the game was really in jeopardy anymore. I think it was just to stay out of the defense's way, try to score, try to go and be aggressive and all the rest of that stuff. But at the same time, defensively, I think you went in there and handled business. I will say this right here before we move on to anything else. Guys, I'm confused. Jason, Chris Mason, can y'all please remind me if we're playing in the SEC or if we're playing, middle school football, because I feel like the refs don't know what the hell they're doing. Because I mean, there was a couple of PI calls both ways.
The PI on us was terrible.
The play that Powers got ejection on. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
No, my bad. I was saying the calls of shit talking on the sideline, like that doesn't happen in every football game.
It's ridiculous. The play. I mean, the referee is just. I mean, the refs today were just. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of stuff that I was just like, this is crazy. Stuff after the play. This now I'm just like, I mean, you let them get chippy, you let them come and talk noise and do all the rest of stuff, but we can't do anything. But again, that didn't affect us to the point to where I think that you suffocated them and you made them. Really go into their playbook, deep into their playbook to try to figure out what do we do. And I thought that they were just going to come out there and just start spreading this out, but they committed to the run and they kept going back to the run, which we were told they would do, which we knew that they would do. And we stopped it. Again, guys, like going out there, Hardy is a guy. He's not a jag. He's a guy.
Yeah.
And the running back they have behind him could probably start at a whole bunch of other schools in the SEC and around the country. So to have to stop that two-headed monster and to penetrate and do what you did, it was big for me. Defense went out there and handled business. And again, I know I was in one of the chats or whatever, I was talking to some people. And like I said, this was a fundamental football game. This wasn't about, disguising, doing this or whatever. You did that. Second thing, got to give a shout out to the secondary. Jacoby Johnson had himself a day. Guys were in the right places. Hell, I thought it was going to be a pick six over there for a second when he got that 18-yard gain. I forgot which pass it was, but still.
Peyton Bowen.
Go ahead,
Peyton Bowen almost had the one on the Peyton Bowen that he almost picked that one off.
Yeah,
that would have been in the house. And then even Reggie Powers, it was probably the right call as far as the targeting there. I mean, there's one of the calls they've got right, but in the end, you've got to. there's nothing that you can say about this defense. A lot of the shit that allowed their drives, a few of those drives to continue on, were stupid calls. I mean, not even, and I would say the same thing on the other side of it too. I'm not even going to say that it's just going against Oklahoma, because I don't think it is. I think it's every week you get a shit ton of bad calls on both sides, and I mean both sides of the game. Like last week, when you look at that Bernard catch before the half, there wasn't even a questionable catch.
Yeah.
Not even kind of questionable, and they don't even review it. You know what I mean? They just call it incomplete. So, I mean, this is week after week after week after week that it's god awful. But I would say that is, other than that first drive, and then that one right before the half, when they went down there and got that other field goal. But again, I think that they were just trying not to give up a touchdown. They were willing to bend and not break there, because when we got inside the 10, they locked it down. You know what I mean? So to me, I think defensively speaking, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But I got to go again. I mean, I'm going to say one more time that I think that this offense is not up to speed. It's not getting it. And look, the two drives, you got the one, I mean, he had just missed him bigger than shit on a wide open one to Satana. Then he hits the other slant. He takes it 80 yards, whatever. You know what I mean? That was a great play. But and then the other one, they get a short field because they get a turnover. They score a touchdown. They proceed to punt 5 straight times, and a lot of misses, a lot of and it feels like somebody just said in there, why are we running the same 5 plays? I tend to agree with that. It seems like it's very, very vanilla, and you seem to know what's coming from play to play.
There's
right?
There's a bunch of
great
questions.
if they were running the ball more, right? If they were just running the football more.
That's what I was going to say. There's a bunch of questions. I think, I'll be honest with you, Jason. If you asked me today, I think it was more just kind of play calling, just the timing of some of those things. Again, I've been screaming for it since last week. You're on second and 2 against Bama, and you go and get a penalty on your with one of your tackles. I think it was for Susi. There was no reason for that. Just run the ball. X-Rob is falling forward. Same thing today. Line it up, run the ball. I think that you can make it easier. Run those bench routes, run different things like that. On the flip side of what's going on with the offense, so kind of second half was kind of a that's a different story. I agree with you on that route, Jason. I think first half, though, what I would say, again, I told one of my friends yesterday at work, I said, I don't disagree with people about the whole identity thing, but I will say I felt like the offense has come out with a purpose. I think trying to stretch the field, trying to throw it deep, doing different things like that today. I was really optimistic about that. I just don't know what Burks. I mean, you're giving him chances. You're doing that. Obviously, we could talk about the rest. We could talk about some of those different things, but I like some of the things that I saw today as far as just trying to give those looks, trying to do more things. I think Keontae's being back, that helps out tremendously. But the biggest thing for me is offensively, I think that you need to commit to the run to open up things, because obviously that's what it does.
That's what I'm talking about. I think that if you're not committing to the run, and early on, you come out and you go 3 and out, and it takes no time because you come out throwing the ball.
Yeah.
And we're talking, timing routes that he hasn't been on time with them. And some precision routes that he hasn't been throwing with precision. And that's what we're opening the game with. I like going for the throat. And I like the idea of trying to get something established early, but I mean, it doesn't mean you have to just go out there and go past that. Thankfully, the defense did lock down immediately after that first drive, and we're able to get them in a 3 and out situation, right? Because then that 3 and out didn't hurt you so bad because you basically locked it up after that. It took them a while to get going, though, Chris. A while.
You're true. You're right. And Chris Mason, before you go, I only got one question for you, Jason, and Chris Mason. Does your opinion change right now if some of those calls actually go our way, right? Because there was a couple of those deep balls where you're like, that's clearly pass interference. I'm not trying to rely on the refs. I'm just saying you still got to say. I think the opinion changes because you're challenging them. You thought you had problems with them. Yeah, go ahead. You thought you had good matchups against their defense.
I would agree that there was a couple of calls they could have went the way of Oklahoma, the way that they were going the way of Mizzou, right?
Yeah.
They kept giving them PI calls that they weren't necessarily giving to OU. I understand that. That doesn't take away the fact that he missed some open dudes early on and continually throughout the game. And in the end, I don't mind him throwing the football. I don't have a problem with throwing the ball. I'd love to see you run it more and not necessarily in an RPO type of run. I'd love to see you spread it out like what they were doing against what they were doing against South Carolina, where they spread it out and they were running it to the edges and stuff like that. It worked, and we haven't really seen much of it. That being said, none of it changes my opinion. All I care about is go out there and fucking execute. I'm not saying we need to score 40. I don't give a shit. I think we could have scored 40 today. Yeah. We went 5 straight. Like I said, it ended up being 6 straight punts by the time it was all said and done. And I just think that it's one of them deals where you could have put that game away and they stayed in the game. I mean, all it was going to take was one broken assignment and, for that running back to get in the end zone. And all of a sudden now we got a pucker, everybody's puckering up because here we go.
I want to say something, but I want Chris Mason to go.
I just want to see these guys put the fucking game away and give this defense what it deserves, which is some freaking support from the offensive side.
I agree with you. I will say this, and Chris Mason, please go. But I will say this right here. On a couple of the latter half of those, I will say this. As the game goes on, especially when we're in those 17-6, those tight ball games, I expect to play the field position game simply because your defense, like Chris Mason said, is on a heater. And you have the best kicker in the nation. I think that as long as you have those two things on your side, I think that BV is going to play it more conservative and not 9 out of 10 times probably bank on himself and his defense making a play before the offense. And I think that's just kind of the world we're living in right now. Everything you said, though, I agree with it.
So do you guys remember Ohio State in 2001? At all? Craig Krenzel?
It's not 2001, brother.
But I'm saying it. But okay, but it's 2001. Ohio State with Craig Krenzel, an average-ass quarterback. Special teams turnovers their way, and some running from Maurice Clarett all the way to a championship game.
Running from Maurice Clarett, a shit ton of running from Maurice Clarett.
But he didn't start out. I mean, I'll dig up the totals if you want, some of the scores. They scraped by some pretty average damn teams. So all in all, yes, in an ideal world, game 3, game 4, this is where we are offensively. People are healthy. And would we like to see improvement through the next 8 games? Yeah. It's game 11, guys. We've got injury. You can't run a knee sprain Robinson 30 times a freaking game. And Blaylock's beat up. So, and you had the ball for 2 minutes in the first quarter because they rattled off a 7.5-minute drive and another long drive. Did we start badly on offense? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Maurice Clarett had 1,200 fucking yards in 2001.
You seen that right now?
As a freshman. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that they weren't a blitzing offense, though.
No, I know. I'm not even saying to go blitz anything. I'm saying go out there and be competent. Support your defense.
I think Jason, at game 11, you said a lackluster performance by John Mateer. Another lackluster performance by John Mateer.
It was not.
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
Yes, we fucking won the game.
Oh, really?
We won the game.
14 to 30, 173. He averaged less than 50% completions and had 173.
Did we win the game?
That's pretty lackluster.
Did we win the game?
Was it because of John Mateer?
Yes.
Because of John Mateer. No, it wasn't.
He threw touchdowns.
Jason, he had over 170 yards, and then he had over 50 yards rushing in his game.
You're like way off on your Mateer agenda.
Making plays.
You are like nowhere. It's game 11. What the fuck do you think our offense is going to be at this point?
I'm not saying he has to go out there and win the damn Heisman every week. I'm saying put some points on the board whenever you are getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. I'm not the only one saying it either. They're talking about it on the damn broadcast.
I get it.
And Greg
On the
McElroy
broadcast, they're talking about it. Why am I getting yelled at about it all the time?
For all I care about him, he was a
on that broadcast. On the damn OU broadcast. On the damn OU broadcast, for fuck's sake.
Well, okay, but I think you're way off at game 11.
I'm not.
Recognize what we are. Recognize what we are, who we are, and that we're managing the offense in a particular way because our defense is on a heater. I mean, did he not throw a touchdown pass today?
Thank God for the defense. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank God for the defense, man.
Well, yes, of course. That's like saying, but if our defense sucked, we wouldn't be playing this way. Oh,
hey,
Hawkins!
Come on, Jason. Let's not go down this route.
Come on, that's ridiculous. Man. Look, he's not playing because he is worse than Mateer in practice. Okay, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
No, that's not what everybody knows. You
yes,
know
they
better.
That's just not even the conversation at this point.
Did I say the word Hawkins? Did I say the word Michael Hawkins?
No, but Jesse did. So
that's not what the hell I said. That's not what the hell I said.
I'm just saying. Let's not even say that.
Jesse,
I didn't say shit about Michael Hawkins. He did not play well. You know he didn't play well. I know
no. Mateer made timely plays. Mateer did what he needed to do. We went out there and got the dub. It is what it is. I understand where you're coming from, Jason. You want consistency. We all want consistency.
But it's not. We're not getting it. We're not getting it. So to expect it now is ridiculous.
That's what I'm talking about. We're not getting it. We're acting like this is going to be. You're always going to have a chance to go back to the playoff next year. You in the SEC, that is not a fact. Figure it the fuck out. If you're this offense, do what you got to do. Don't be. I didn't even just blame it on Mateer. I think that the play calling is so cookie cutter and the same from week to week, has a shit ton to do with it.
Okay. You have your opinion. You have your opinion. You've got all the stuff that supports you. And my only counter, Jason, is 17-6. We won the fucking ball game.
That's what I was about to say. We complained about a win.
And I didn't lie about
it doesn't sound like it sometimes when you're just talking about. It sounds like you're talking about a loss from my perspective.
Cool. I don't care if you like what I have to say or not. I don't care.
Well, it's a difference of opinion. That's all.
Cool.
And that's why we argue on this. The team won. We're now one game, 60 minutes away from being in the playoffs. I don't know who will play. I don't know where we'll play them if we can beat LSU. I mean, Missouri took Diego Pavia and Vandy, who are a much better offense than us. They're a veteran offense. They haven't had the injuries we have, and they have a better quarterback than us. We can all agree on that, right? Diego Pavia is a better quarterback than John Mateer. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, statistically.
I guess
right? And Missouri went to Vandy and held them.
Breaking new ground here. Fuck.
And
definitely not breaking new ground.
And Missouri held Vandy to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. I mean, this was very much like the Vandy game. This played out very much like the Vandy game, except our defense is better with a better pass rush, and our quarterback scored more points.
I'm just trying to. All I have to say is this right here. You want to go and say 14-30, and I'm just like, okay, but I know you and others have been screaming, we need to throw the ball down the field. We need to throw the ball down the field. Went out there and did that today. They dialed some stuff up. I saw somebody in the chat say, I think that's a stupid comment. Oh, that play. That was all Satanga. Who the fuck threw it to him? Who dialed it up? The consistency is not there, and I agree with you on that. Jason. It has to
Jason, you were right about that.
And I know where Jason is. And people, please know. We just like Dent. We're gonna argue with Jason, but Jason is our guy. But all I gotta say is just right here. I understand where Jason is coming from because Jason is like, my uncle said that to me in high school one time. You can't chance it. Next year is not promised. You have a chance to go and do something this year in the playoffs, but it's going to take complementary football and has to be consistent. You go and put 2 touchdowns together, like Jason said, you should have put that game away. That's what I'm saying. I think both sides of the football, the defense is closer than the offense at it, but both sides of the football have to get a killer instinct. When you smell blood, go and seize it. They wanted none of that physicality. They came out there with all that rah-rah bull crap. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do that. We held them to 6 points. No touchdowns, no none of that. Got key turnovers, key stops when we needed to. We made timely plays. We ended up getting the lead. But at the same time, people, I think that it's a mix of what Jason is saying. I get it. Material's numbers don't look great. He made timely plays. He was on target a good portion of the time when it mattered. But at the same time, there's that little bit more that is not necessarily that we're used to, but we need to get over that hump. You have a championship level team, but you need the offense to get there. Simple as that. Got to commit to the run. We got to get guys healthy. We got to be healthy at the right time. My uncle's been saying that all year. Just got to be healthy at the right time. We need R. Mason back. Got to figure out what's going on with Gentry to bolster that room, both of those rooms right there. Offensively, there's really no excuses. Your defense is playing like crazy. Special teams is playing out their mind right now just as much as the defense. On top of that, you offensively have to contribute. And it doesn't matter if that's coming from a field goal, touchdown, whatever the case may be. We need points. We scored 20. If we even just got a field goal and won this game 20-6, I think people are feeling a lot better because that means that we were moving the ball. I think that you're coming out there with a purpose, and I think things are going well, but you have to strike when you have the opportunity, because as so long as we are in a tight game, people, I think that's where I say, okay, I'm with Jason on this side, but now I'm starting to come back to my side and Chris Mason's side, which is we are what we are. And if we're in tight games, the product that you saw to end the game is what you're going to see. Because I think BV has made his mind up that he is going to put it all on his defense to go out there and win, and rightfully so, because at this point, they're the strongest unit on our team.
And they're the strongest unit in the last 3 games we've played versus our opponent. The OU defense is the best unit in the Tennessee game, the Alabama game, and the Missouri game.
But again, like Jason is saying, it can't be Shaq on free throws. I hit them when I have to. You need to actually go and put some damn points up and put away teams like this, because again, I think what people were calling a really good calling a really good Mizzou team, I think all 3 of us would agree that's not a good team. In my opinion, I
think defensively they're better than average.
Better than average.
They're better than average up front.
I'm not a fan of what I saw. I'm not a fan of what I've seen.
Defensively, their ends are good. Their ends are good. I mean,
dude, that Berbula's trash, man. I mean, but a lot of it has to do with a bad foot and everything, bad ankle or whatever it is. I mean, I can't imagine why he was out there.
That was silly. It was silly.
We're gonna see. This is what I'm talking about. Even Jay coming in here saying shit like this. We're gonna figure it out in 2026. You hear about fucking 2026, Jay? You have a championship defense today, and you're wasting it on uneven play on the and not even just.
You can't say that right now. You can't say we're wasting it.
Okay, it's gonna get wasted.
Well,
it's gonna get wasted.
No. When it gets wasted, you will be right. You will be completely right, and I will say you're right.
And I hate it that I'm going to be right.
You will be right, but until then, you're wrong.
Bullshit, bro. Come on.
No,
we know football. I've been watching football a long fucking time. Just so have you. Stop acting like this is going to continue week to week. They weren't even getting any turnovers at the start of the season. Stop it.
Well, the turnovers are random, so you don't know that.
This is going to go over and over again every week. We're going to get saved. Come on, brother, man. You got to put a competent offensive scheme out there.
I wouldn't even say saved. You were still going out there and getting all the 3 and outs and doing what you need to do, and you're basically leading the country in sacks. What are you talking about? You're getting off the field.
The offense is going to continue getting saved. Is that what we're going to think? It's not going to happen. You're going to have to go out there and put points on the board when they give you short And they weren't doing that today. They weren't.
Okay, but when they did, they banked it, right? And they did make a drive and kick a field goal today, right?
They had the field goal. They had the field goal kick. Yeah. They had 17 points. I know it. The other one, they did put the points on the board to Giovanni, and then he hit a 5-yard slant that turned into an 85-yarder. Yeah,
which I was happy.
But aside from that, what else did they do? They had 5 punts in a row at a time that you could have put the game out of reach completely.
No,
and
you're completely right. I'm not going to argue facts with you. I'm just saying, at this point, my concern more is your expectations are here, right? And we're getting here, maybe. Okay? Your expectations are here. We're going to get here.
My expectations are here in what?
I think, based upon what you're saying, based upon what we're actually performing level at, I just don't. I don't think your expectations are realistic upon where we are.
So you're saying there's no chance that this defense isn't good enough to go win a national championship if you just go out there and have a competent offense. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because we're way in offense.
That's not what I'm telling you at all.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying how we're actually performing on offense. The trend of how we're doing doesn't. If you're expecting,
47% completions today, brother. 47.
You can nickel and dime stats all you want.
173, 47%. And without the 85-yarder, what is his number?
Don't fucking do that, because that doesn't.
No, I am going to do that. You want to do this shit all the day?
That's bullshit.
I don't. Come on, Jason. You can't just nickel and dime and say,
"Oh yeah, throw out his big pass play." Oh,
that doesn't make any sense.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But I'm just
saying,
he
threw the ball 5 fucking yards.
Jason, what is an expectation realistic for the point total? What did you think the score was going to be today? Because we didn't hear you on Thursday or Friday.
I don't know what I was. I expected. I think I said something around 28-10 or something like that. Is what I was saying on the other show.
Okay.
And
I would tell you that you have been realistically over pointing us for the last 3-4 weeks.
I figured you're gonna shut down that. I wasn't at that moment in the morning time on Friday. I didn't know that they were gonna play Prebula. I figured they get and turn the ball over for the freshmen even more. Okay. Because if you shut it, and so I figured you find a way to get in. I don't know, 24, 28-10. I don't remember which. Something around that, though.
Okay,
they should have put up at least that, though. They should have put up at least that much.
I'm just saying that I think when we play good defenses, and I think Mizzou is a better defense than you guys are giving them credit, but that's not a big deal. It's not a hill I'm going to die on. But overall, our offense, based upon the development of this year and the disruptions that we've had, and maybe it's Arbuckle adjusting to SEC defenses and SEC refs. I don't know what to say about some of the other stuff. I'm just saying that I think we're going to beat LSU the same way if we win. You can't expect us to just put 31 points on LSU from our offense.
LSU and Missouri are not playoff. That's not even what I'm talking about. LSU and Missouri are not playoff teams.
Okay, all right. There's no debate there either. I mean, Missouri... Right. I'm not debating that either.
Just understand that it's one thing to win these games like this.
Correct. And if they get to the playoffs,
You're not going to do that in the playoff. You're not going to do it in the playoff.
Well, but let's be clear. Defensively, no matter who we get round one, if we get to the playoffs, if we beat LSU, and this defense and offense, this team is in a high wire act. We know that. We've known that all season long, right? If we get various teams in Norman, could our defense hold them under 20 points? Absolutely.
Sure.
Could we go on the road and hold people under 20 points? Absolutely. Short of, I don't know what to do with Ohio State and Indiana because they haven't fucking played anybody other than Indiana did beat Oregon.
That's why I'm saying that you could win the damn whole thing if you just
right.
offense. Just a little bit of decent offense, brother.
Jason,
That's it.
You do know that at some point there's going to be one game where it does come together. that's the part that's going to piss everybody off. It's going to be at least one game.
It was coming in the first half, Kchris. Shit.
What?
When he hit those two, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe he goes out there and gets some confidence from that. We go put this fucking thing away in the second half. No. Right back to same.
Okay.
Look, at the end of the day, we can argue about that. Guys, we got to win. I think there's other things that we can focus on besides that. Play calling was an issue today at points. We can agree to disagree on the whole material thing. I think there's other points of the game that we can.
It was a suffocating defensive day, and that it was It was lackluster on the offense, and it was. I wasn't lying. I know you guys took exception to it, but I just said it was. What I said was factual.
Like I said, that's your opinion. Keep your opinion. Do what you do. Yeah, I mean, we are Jason. We already know. We know. We get it. We get it. We get it.
I will. Thank you.
We get it. All right. We get it. Anywho, how did you guys think that I do want to talk about our offensive line. How do you guys think that they held up the opportunities they were given? I mean, I know the run was kind of weird. Not necessarily sure what's up necessarily, if they were trying to save X-Rob and Blaylock for sure. But I mean, offensive line wise, I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say. I just think that it's important to talk about them, especially with a redshirt freshman and true freshman.
I think they've been fantastic for like the last 4 weeks.
They got a little work today with some of the holding calls, and they got a little worked. Mateer's still leaving the pocket a little early on some.
He's leaving the pocket, right?
Yeah, but there was pressure. Mizzou's ends did come to play, and those guys are both NFL guys. Both of those guys are going to be on an NFL roster. Our tackles did okay. For the most part, the offensive line. If we could hit more passing plays, if we had healthier running backs, I think the offensive line is not the number one problem. I think it's the kids are working through stuff. Are they elite? No, but it is the most competent athletic unit we've had in the last 2 seasons, and we're ending the year with that unit, with the guys moving forward. So I think, Chris, they're playing well. They're playing well. On a curve, but is this an elite O-line like we've been used to? No. But we are certainly not getting embarrassed out there like we were last year.
No.
I mean, the Ole Miss game with the 15 sacks or whatever the hell it was. And the guys are playing. I mean, again, Missouri's ends are NFL dudes. They are. So, I mean, I think they played well against that. Their interior guys, I think, aren't probably as good as their ends. I don't think their back seven's fantastic. But I think overall, the O-line's not the problem. We just need some higher. We need some healthy running backs, and we need some more out of Mateer. Wish he was trusting the pocket a little more.
I think EPL. I think EPL guys like Helms as well, but I think EPL has really changed the offensive line for the better. Moving Foje out there to tackle, I think you solidified that. I know you and some other OU pods I watched, you guys have said for the longest that, hey, it's great to have Ozida out there. It's great to have Simmons out there, but they're more depth pieces. We have better pieces behind them. I think that a guy like EPL has come in and he just added that nastiness to the interior that we needed. I know we say that an awful lot on the show, but no, I thought for the most part they held up. A couple of times where the pocket collapsed a little bit. You were able to escape, like I think maybe once or so, but outside of that, that's where I think some of those sacks came. Maybe a couple coverage sacks, but outside of that, he left the pocket a little bit early, but at the same time, I think that offensive line has a chance to be really, really good. And there's some things that you have to reward them on as far as some of those runs and different things. And the one thing I keep saying about X-Drive that I think is going unnoticed about him, it's not necessarily just the explosive or even the tough runs. It's the fact that he's falling forward.
Yeah.
And guys, he's picking up.
I was going to say falling forward.
He's picking up 4 or 5 yards on those plays right there and putting us in those, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 situations. I do not like anything longer than 3rd and 5 with this team, right now, as put. But I think that, offensive line has played really well.
We gave up 2 sacks, according to the stats that are out there. We gave up 2 sacks today. Okay. Missouri has good rush ends. They do a good job rushing the passer.
Yeah.
I think that's, if your freshman tackles are doing that and battling and holding their own against 2 NFL guys, I think you got to take that and move forward. I mean, I'm looking if we can.
And
if
Trotter,
we can
he's in the backfield fast too. Jeremiah Trotter.
yeah, and
is that his name too?
Yeah, that's his. That's his. Yeah, and he's obviously the Trotter kids. He's obviously the son of the Philadelphia
Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's done well this year. So so I think overall Missouri, like I said, Missouri has some D-line pieces. I think you got to have a better clicking passing game to really take advantage of Mizzou's on defense. To be honest, I think they're pretty good against the run. We only had that first quarter where Mizzou had a 7.5 minute drive, and we did not execute well and punted quickly. They had the ball for 12.5 minutes. So that throws off the number of plays we have. That throws off time of possession. But yeah, I think, there's, overall the offense is not going to be one of the best offenses in the country. So we can argue, what we're arguing about is what level can they reach, right? And where are the extra yards and the extra plays?
I don't think anybody's expecting.
Right, but so I think we're arguing in the margins, right? What can we get marginally in the margins to be better on offense between now and LSU, and after a 3-week break, because that's what it's going to be, basically, a 3-week break before we would play again if we're in the playoffs. December 19th is probably when we would, or the 20th is when they play again. So you have 3 weeks to get healthy, fine-tune some things, and and I do think today part of some of the defense, the offensive stuff was that we were being ultra conservative in the fourth quarter. Not make a mistake. We're just not going to give Missouri anything. We're going to make them earn any points and anything they got. I got a good punter. I got a good kicker, and they need touchdowns. So, but yeah, I mean, there's still plays out there. He's missing passes. We did push the ball downfield. We tried. I mean, I think Arbuckle is taking his lumps as a first-year OC in the SEC. I think that's definitely a case. And I think that's leading to some of the play calling stuff that you guys accurately have laid out.
Jason?
I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't know what else you want me to say about this. I'm not going to continue talking about this fucking shitty offense. I'm not going to do it. I'm kind of over it at this point. We can move on from this.
Okay.
Next. We'll talk about it.
When do we want to do an LSU preview?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't think we can do it Thursday night.
Yeah, it'd probably be. I know for me, Tuesday. Oh no! You have your show Tuesday, Jason. My bad. We'll talk about it offline. We'll talk about it offline.
All right.
Tuesday, I don't know if I can, but we can work something out either Monday or I got to go get my mom at some point for Thanksgiving. So
we all got Thanksgiving stuff. So let's talk about it offline.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to drive back to New Mexico and get her though. So I'm not going to be available. Probably, I don't even know if I'm going to do my Tuesday show. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
All right. So, but
if y'all want to do Monday or something like that, we can do whatever y'all want and record it. I don't care.
That would work for me. We can do some recruiting on top of that or after that when we preview and
just record it and post it. So yeah. But we can all agree 9-2 is not the place we thought we would be right now.
I kind of did.
Well, okay, all right. I'll give you that.
I was trying to bring Jason over there with me for the tip, but Jason was like, I think I'm gonna play it safe. But no, guys, look, 9-2, regardless of how it looks, how we got there, we're here. So I mean, the whole thing is that we're 9-2. and we're in a really good place. Number 8 in the nation right now. All eyes are on us. We got a defense that not a lot of teams are going to want to play. I still like our chances. I think things can get better. It's a matter of will they get better. But the whole thing is that Jason, Chris Mason, we get into next week. We win that game. We take care of business. We get into the playoffs. Guys, it's about matchups. And there are some teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
Styles makes fight. Styles makes fight.
Styles makes fight. And
anybody's going to want to have to deal with this defense in the playoff. I know that much.
Exactly. And I mean, that's the whole thing. You're going to get opportunities. Whether you capitalize on those or not. Yeah. Yeah. And if it comes to bite us again, Jason, we'll tell you. We'll eat crow and we'll go from there. But at the same time, let's win this game next week. And let's get to the playoffs and see what that seeding looks like, and we'll go from there. Guys, just before we jump off of here, is there anything about LSU that you want to say that you're like, hey, this is something that I think we got to do? I mean, Michael Van Buren, we know he can put up numbers, but yeah.
I think it's dangerous because of the Van Buren part of it. I think that a mobile quarterback that can throw is everybody's kryptonite. No matter who we're talking about. I think that's every defense's kryptonite. So that would be my concern. The other part would be the fact that you've never beaten them before. And I know that the history doesn't necessarily have anything to do with today, but if you remember that you lost last year to them and it looked good, it's worrisome. I think you should be able to put them away. If you hit them in the mouth early, they should fold. That being said, you got to go out there and do it. So
I think we could honestly shut out LSU. Their O-line is so bad.
It could turn into a fist fight too.
Well, I mean, okay, but I think defensively, though, you just look at what LSU has offensively and what they've done. We're the best defense they've seen by a long mile, and offensive line wise, they're in terrible shape. Nussmeier's not going to play. Van Buren's going to have to deal with all of the stunts, blitzes. Guys are there, not there. He's seeing ghosts.
The only thing I will say is he's better equipped to deal with that shit than most of the quarterbacks we've seen as far as mobility is concerned.
Yeah, mobility, but passing wise, he can make just as many mistakes as anybody else who's been playing lately. So, and I think offensively, again, Jason's right. We just don't know what we're going to get. Probably another rock fight. But I do think LSU doesn't have Missouri's running game at all. They don't have that running game. So they don't have anything that they're offensively good at to hang their hat on. They just don't. If you've watched them this year, they are just bad on offense, and their O-line is bad. And they're walking into a matchup with our D-line who'll be frothing at the mouth to put this season away. The crowd will be crazy. 2:30. We need to beat LSU. And the other thing with LSU that Missouri didn't have is what's up with their motivation to play, what's up with their coaching staff, what the Kiffin nonsense. It's prime for LSU.
It's Kiffin already, it sounds like he's maybe locked into him at this point. But although I heard the same thing about Florida a week ago, so who knows?
Yeah, so who knows? But I'm just saying, Missouri came in with a focused, consistent, cohesive coaching staff. That's under no description. Does that cover LSU? So that's my early preview for LSU. Is that their offense is a mess, their O-line is a mess, and mentally, motivationally, as Jason said, we could shut them down early on defense. And if you could get some consistent offense and put a couple of touchdowns up, they could fold. They could do an El Foldo in Norman pretty badly because they've already done it already. They've folded it several times already this season.
Jason is right, man. 1,000% right. Got to go out there and punch them in the mouth early and go ahead and get that out of the way. And that's, again, every game that we play from now on out is another opportunity to finally make good on it. We've seen it in spurts, but that's the problem. It's not the NBA. You can't play in spurts. You gotta find that consistency, that cohesiveness, but you got to reward the defense. But this is a game here where you don't want to give them any type of life or whatever the case may be, because LSU is they still have a lot of talent out there, and they're going to be looking to try to spoil somebody's season because, it's going to be a spoiler for them. But 2:30 kickoff at the crib. Definitely happy.
Oh, it's 2:30 on this, right? 2:30.
Yeah.
Not. I thought this one was going to be a 2:30 one for some reason, and it just.
No, they had it at 11 since before the season. Yeah, it's so stupid. We haven't had a night game in the ACC.
Kind of we're gonna have a night game since the early season, right? Like
we only got a night game because of Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean,
and, that's going to be 11 a.m. kickoff next
year. Freaking Fox is going to put us at 11 a.m. in the big house.
That's because it's going to be on Fox. Yep.
Yeah, because
big news, baby.
Because if you did some bullshit forecasting, Michigan and OU are going to be preseason top 10 teams. Probably. Well, I know OU will be with what we're returning, if depending upon retention and all that nonsense. But yeah, no, I mean, Jason's right. I don't want you guys to get confused about our argument here. I'm just annoyed with some of the Crimson Iowa bullshit from the national media and some of the folks not really watching our games and understanding that our offense has been paying off what the defense has been giving them. To Jason's point, you may not be able to guarantee that the defense keeps setting you up.
Yeah. Real quick before we jump out of here, as I know we're trying to get out of here, that is right. Any details on the recruiting end? Anything? Just things going well, or what's going on with that as far as like who came today?
So I won't hear anything until tomorrow, probably from sources. But obviously, guys, the crowd's great again today. We dominated, right, defensively. And we've got defense. We have mostly defensive players in for the most part. We got 2027 kids in. You can certainly sell any 2027 offensive kids that hey, we need some playmakers. Nothing. They got guys on campus. They'll have even more for LSU next week. So they're about to pay this all off. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get 3 or 4 verbals after the Thanksgiving game, the LSU game. We're poised to do that. Get some good kids and take care of business. But this win, again, it's scruffy, but the kids, it doesn't look scruffy to the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just see the team fighting out there. You see the cohesion. You see the culture. All the stuff Brent has been telling us for 3 years that we don't think is going to pay off is paying off. I mean, I will say that Mateer is certainly giving us the leadership chemistry stuff. We just need to see the stats stuff to back it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not crumbling leadership-wise on the road or in the game.
I think they play for each other for sure. I think they play for each other.
I mean, they're not quitting at all. I mean, the offense is, as you said, is not executing consistently. But there's no quitting the guys there. I mean, it is all. It's not what we saw last year. I know we're not getting the results we want completely, but it is not what we were doing last year at all. And it hasn't been that way all season long, save for maybe the Texas game when things fell apart. But I'm blocking that game out of my mind at this point.
Fuck Texas.
I'm black. I'm. Somebody asked me about the Texas game this year. I'm just saying blackout. I've had a blackout.
Yeah.
Fuck Texas.
Yeah. Soft as baby shit.
They're in a nail biter with Arkansas right now. USC being beaten to death by Oregon already. It's 28-14, but it's not looking good.
Well, the problem is that they're showing no signs of stopping Oregon, right? I mean, it's
right.
I mean,
and it's always going to be their problem. And if you're going to get in a shootout now, good luck with that.
But it is what it is. But yeah, I think overall
it would be kind of cool if they would win it because that they would move heaven and earth to make Oklahoma play SC in the first round instead of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a conspiracy today to get Kchris 5-0 so that he can catch up to me in our playoff in our pick'em thing. So we're going to give Jason.
Did you pick SC?
I picked him to cover.
Oh, you're crazy, dude.
Yeah,
cover. I'm picking to cover.
It's Lincoln. Lord.
I know, but again, it wasn't one of my best picks. Let's just leave it at that. I'm giving Kchris a chance to come back and
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You keep saying shit like that whenever you pull a bonehead one. It's one thing when you lose a game that's it's kind of in the middle. It could go either way. But when you make a pick like that and then you say that shit, we're trying to give you guys a way to come back. Come on, man. All right.
It's all I got. It's all I got in my golf bag.
No, that's it,
Anything
man.
else?
Yep, that's it.
All right. We will see you guys later on, maybe tonight. I don't know, but for sure Monday morning. Appreciate everybody coming in. We'll catch you all on the next one.